pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosing lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the streets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the buck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm putting business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side, if you know what I mean. I show you shit you never seen, the 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman, that ain't my style. Need a real street stalker off a green mile. Piling up the paper on the dining room table, cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man that need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life, watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC, simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK, Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp, and what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame, you know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Hello. Hi, everybody. It is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. How you guys doing? I think I've completely acclimated to daylight savings time, which I feel like shouldn't be a thing anymore. But whatever. I'm just a plebeian. We got my Eek over here hanging out. I don't know where Serana is. She's probably hiding. I got a couple of housekeeping notes to make before we go into this hearing. One is that homeownership really sucks sometimes, you know? So I don't think I even told you guys that I've been dealing with water issues in my basement. Like it's not like it's been flooding. Or anything like that, or that there's like puddles, but there's obvious water being built up on the walls of my basement. Not only that, the foundation has been moving a little bit too. So I have I plan on having somebody coming over either this coming Friday or next Friday to address that issue. But never mind that. The last 2 days I haven't had hot water. I don't know what's going on. I don't. Nothing. There's nothing that looks off with the water heater in the basement. You know, it's not like it's not getting power. The breaker's still on. I'm just not getting any hot water. So I got somebody coming in tomorrow to take a look at it. And I just confirmed it just before going live. I ran the sink, the faucet for a bit to see if hot water will come out, but there you go. Yeah. Kill me. On more happier news, if you haven't been on my Discord, which I don't know what's wrong with you, you should be on my Discord, so check it out. I am setting up a March Madness of YouTube judges. For those of you who aren't American, March Madness is the term we use for the college basketball tournament that usually happens in March and lasts about like 4 weeks. The beginning of March, where you have 64 teams. Well, it's technically 68, but whatever. 64 teams vying for the national championship. And I think Sean, you gave me this idea last year, a long time ago, and I put a to-do note at the beginning of March to remind myself to do it. But the goal is to get 16 YouTube judges. We're talking, Simpson, Rick, Webster, DeSanto, Middleton, Fleischer, so on and so forth. And we're gonna have them go head to head with each other in a round round-based contest where we'll find out which judge is the most coveted and the most appreciated out of the community. Now, it may have been another Sean. I don't know why, but your username came to my head when I had that notification. I don't know. The hiccup on this. Well, I have to make sure. I don't know if I have a full 16. I think I have 15 judges. I might be missing one more. But I think I finally have a full 16 judge slate. The hiccup here is whether or not is how to conduct the polling. So I'm trying to see if the chat bot thing, chat bot that I use, and the live stream assist that I use allows me to conduct multiple polls simultaneously. I don't know if it does that. I'd have to check it a little bit better, because the way it would work is that I would go live on, I don't know, say Thursday, like next Thursday is when the tournament starts. Say I go live on Thursday, and you would have like the first round there, and the first round would be 8 matches, so that's a lot. I think so. I think instead of doing that, we'd probably do 4 matches. We'd probably do 4 matches on Thursday, 4 matches on Friday, and then we go from there. But the goal is to try and figure out if I can conduct a poll simultaneously. I could have wait. What? I thought this thing would allow me to do a poll. What the hell? Automations, hotkeys, studio. Anyway, that's the idea. I will. I'm going to try and finalize the slate either tonight or tomorrow. Put together a little bracket. I asked you guys in Discord to help grab me pictures of the judges, and you guys came through real fast, so I appreciate you guys that. And then I'm gonna showcase it. I'm debating on whether or not I should just if I could print it out. The thing is, I don't have an easel. Because if I did, I would actually have like a full-on big printout and have behind me. And then we can go along from there to have to mark, X marks the judges' names or circle them if they win. I think that'd be really cool. But I don't have like an easel or anything to or a whiteboard to hang the poster up. No, the getting the blow up of the bracket isn't the issue. It's how am I going to display it behind me? That's the issue. And for the love of, I could have sworn that this damn app conducts polls. All right, I'll be back on this later. anyway. So that's the idea. Like I said, I'm gonna try and figure that out. Figure out the slate tonight. I will try and release the seating shortly thereafter, maybe Friday, or maybe on Selection Sunday to coincide with, you know, the basketball NCAA Selection Sunday, which is next Sunday. The other thing is, like, I'm going to be looking at others for advice on seating, because the whole thing is, like, one, you don't want, like, two really popular judges to go head to head, like in like the first round, or like the second round or something like that, because that would kind of suck. Like, for example, if you put like Simpson and Fleischer like head to head in the second round or something like that, that would kind of suck. But also I also don't want like the top seeds to like steamroll the competition. Aw, Hitchbot, that sucks. I figured that was gonna happen soon. That's why I wanted you guys to go say hi to her, but that sucks. Will the winning judge get an edible arrangement or a kissogram? Probably not. It probably would go well against ethics to accept gifts like that, so more than likely not. So that's the whole plan. Anyway, let's get into this. That's the end of housekeeping notes. We got 69 people watching. Nice. And let's see this guy embarrass himself immensely.
I would advise that you not talk about anything that happened.
Please don't, ma'am. I appreciate that.
All right, we are on the record in the matter of People versus Latavis Trashad Thornton. This is case 25-0203-FY, and may I have appearances for the record, please?
George and on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Thank you, and
I'm Melissa Vachon with the Office of the Public Defender. Your Honor, I would note for the record that I am present and I did speak with Mr. Thornton. However, he is declining my representation at this arraignment.
okay, and Mr. Thornton, could you state your name for the record, please?
I will object to being called Mr. Thornton. I am, for the record, my name is Shoulders. I am here as legal representation for Latavis Trashad Thornton, which is the nonprofit organization.
Non-profit.
Your Honor, I'm looking at his file from 2022. I think he was sent to competency back in 2022, and it looks like it's going to be the same issue today. It's my understanding that he might have a bench warrant out for his arrest for sentencing. He pled guilty to, I believe, attempted R&O in November 8th of 2022. But he failed to appear in December 2022. And looking earlier in the files, I believe he was sent to competency as well. And it looks like this is going to be the same issue. So if the court is inclined to send him to competency, I'd ask for that.
Objection again, Your Honor.
Everything comes through me. You're going to get your turn, okay? But I have to run this in sort of an organized fashion, in part for you, because if you want to appeal, you want a transcript that is coherent and readable, okay?
I'm sorry. I don't know. Were you speaking to me or
Yes,
to
sir.
Mr. A?
Mr. Thornton. So if you want to appeal, you
Please,
want.
I just want the record to be correct, and there was no objection. There was no objection to the statement that I made about Mr. Thornton, about Latavis Trashad Thornton being a nonprofit organization, and I was just objecting the points that the attorney prosecutor made.
Okay. But
Yes, ma'am.
there aren't objections at arraignment. There aren't objections at arraignment, and I am going to call you Mr. Thornton because that is the name that you have been identified as, and that is the name the charges are under. No, Mr. Thornton. So, I mean, the other option is to call you defendant, which is true. You are the person defending yourself, but that sounds kind of rude. So I'd rather call you Mr. Thornton. So I want to make sure that we treat you with as much respect. Here's why we have this hearing. You have, under the Constitution, a Sixth Amendment right to know the charges against you. So we have this hearing for that reason. So I want to make sure that you get all of your rights and know everything that is available to know about this case right now so you can defend yourself. That's the whole purpose today. To give you the information you need so you can defend yourself with or without counsel as you wish, okay? We're going to do 5 things this afternoon. First, I'm going to read the charges against you, including the maximum possible penalties, because you have a right to know them. Second, we're going to talk more about your rights. Then, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'll give you the opportunity. Well, no, sir. So just a minute, Okay, so you're going to have the opportunity. You can stand mute or plead not guilty. We'll come to that in a minute, okay? So that's the third thing we're going to do. Then we're going to talk about dates when you return to court. You're going to get those in writing. Lastly, we're going to talk about bond or bail, okay? So,
can I please?
Because here's the thing. I don't want to be disrespectful to you.
Right, absolutely.
I know it feels disrespectful, but here's why. Here's my concern. I don't want you to say anything that could come back to haunt you later. So that's why, and this is true of every arraignment I do, I tell people right at the beginning, if you try to speak, I'm going to shut you down. And it's not to be disrespectful, and it's not because the case has already been decided. It's to protect your innocence and your interest going forward. So for that reason, I'm going to do most of the talking here.
That's fine, Your Honor. I'm fine with you doing most of it. But please, to protect my free speech, could you please not mute me? I have no intentions of disrespecting your courtroom. If I speak out of turn, just simply let me know. And I am aware that I am innocent until proven guilty, and that something I say could, like you said, come back and haunt me. I'm well aware of that for the Tavis Church, Sean Thornton. However, I do still need to express correctly, and if I'm capable of settling this matter now, why can't we do that? I have more than just the Sixth Amendment right. I have a plethora of rights that are granted to me from God, the Human Declaration, from the Constitution, and so forth. There's a plethora of rights that have been granted onto me. So I don't just want to rely on the few far in between. I would like to rely on all my rights and abilities, and if possible, take care of all these matters in the most dignified and respectful way to keep the court's dignity and my dignity as a man. And furthermore, as a preservation of my innocence, I would like, until proven guilty, I believe that is pertinent that the innocent factor be imminent here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. And I tell this to everyone at this stage. The most important thing I can tell you this afternoon is that you are innocent. You are innocent unless you remain innocent, unless at some point you plead guilty or are found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. And I say unless for a reason, because it's different than until. Until means something's going to happen sooner or later, right? We'll be here until Saturday. Saturday is going to happen. Unless means we don't know what's going to happen. And in your case, we don't know what's going to happen. You haven't seen the evidence. Okay, I'm going to keep going through this, and then I'll acknowledge you in just a minute. You haven't seen the evidence.
Okay.
No attorney has seen the evidence. The court hasn't seen the evidence. So you remain innocent unless you plead guilty or are found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. And now I'm going to read the charges against you because you have a right to know them. Okay, you can't really defend yourself unless you know what you're accused of. Maybe you remember being a little kid and going to the principal's office and not knowing what you might be in trouble for.
I wasn't in trouble.
No? Okay. Well, you were probably a better little kid than I was. But I'm going to read the charges against you. It's going to take some time reading all the way through them.
Before
But
you get to
that's-
reading, can I make one statement, please?
No,
Well-
Your Honor?
don't.
You can, but let me read through these first, okay? Let me read through these first because I want to make sure I cover everything. The other thing is judges use scripts. And the reason we use scripts is to make sure everyone gets all of the information and to make sure we treat everyone the same.
I'm aware of that, Your Honor, and based that is why I feel it necessary for me to make certain things known for Latavius Treshaw Thornton, for that the script so we can stay in honor. Once again, I have no intentions on dishonoring the courts. I'm even here to surrender all of the interests of Latavius Treshaw Thornton to the courts. I have those full intentions. And so that you guys can be safe from all liability of Latavius Treshaw Thornton as his representation. That is the only reason why I speak in the way of please refrain from calling me Mr. Thornton and certain things, because it's pertinent for you guys to know I've already been treated as the surety. I am not the surety. I'm really shoulders. If you guys meet my people, you will find out I'm really shoulders. Latavius Treshaw Thornton is really a nonprofit organization, and I am not a surety for it. And it is a company, and it does not profit. So with that information, I understand that the script goes a little different, and I understand that. I have the right to let it be known that I'm not the surety, and nobody has. I'm sorry, and
Okay. All right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
here's
Your Honor.
Here's the thing. That's okay. That's not an issue. So here's the thing. I don't know if you remember when a guy named Mitt Romney was running for president some time ago.
Hell?
And he said, and he really upset people with this. He said, corporations are people, my friend. And a lot of people made fun of him.
Oh.
But corporations.
I remember binders full of women, but yes, corporations are people. Well, they are, but yeah, whatever.
Are people. So that LLC would be a person in the eyes of the law. But a person does not become an LLC. But regardless, I'm going to read these charges because you have a right to know them. So in count 1, you are accused of police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. And the specific allegation is that on or about March 9th, 2025, at Carey Street and Lake Lansing Road in the city of Lansing, zip code 48912, you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Kayla Bevere, a police officer with the East Lansing Police Department, that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties, contrary to Michigan law MCL 750.81D1. This is a felony punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $2,000 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. In count 2, you are accused of assaulting, resisting, or obstructing a police officer, again, on or about March 9th, 2025, at Carey Street and Lake Lansing in the city of Lansing, zip code 48912. Specific allegation is that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Chris Shattuck, a police officer with the East Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties, contrary to Michigan law MCL 750.81D1. This is, again, a felony punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $2,000 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. Lastly, in count 3, you are accused of, again, assaulting, resisting, or obstructing a police officer, And the specific allegation is that on or about March 9, 2025, at Cary Street and Lake Lansing Road in the city of Lansing, zip code 48912, you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Colin Lemire, a police officer with the East Lansing Police Department, that you knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties contrary to MCL 750.81D1. This is, again, a felony, punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $2,000 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction.
Oh,
and this
sorry.
is alleged against the peace and dignity of the people of the state of Michigan. Now we're going to talk about your rights. You have the right to an attorney, and today Attorney Vachon is standing by. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you, and we have superb public defenders in this court. That said, you can hire any attorney you wish. You would have to pay them, but you could choose whomever you wish. Now, there is an option for you to represent yourself, and we'll talk about that more at a future court hearing, okay? You have the right, as this case goes forward, to have these charges heard at a trial. And at that trial, the prosecutor would have to bring evidence against you. You could question that evidence, and you could question any witnesses the prosecutor called. You could call your own witnesses, and if they didn't want to appear, the court could issue a subpoena, and the court could make them appear. At a trial, you could testify on your own behalf, or you could remain silent. And if you remain silent, no one could use that silence against you. At a trial, you could bring any evidence you wished, or you could just sit there, because it's the prosecutor's job to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And perhaps most importantly, and you know this one, this is the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, you have a right against self-incrimination. And that means no one can do anything that forces you or tricks you into making yourself guilty.
True.
Now, how do you wish to plead?
You said a lot, so I want to address them part for part. First,
no, not right now. So what I'm gonna, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna enter. I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and here's why.
Can I ask you this first?
I do appreciate this judge not letting him like ramble and meander and like attempt to derail it, because I think she knows exactly what she's dealing with. So I think she's doing her best to cut it off at the head.
Ask you this first before you enter that plea. If me giving you a plea right now, will that be in response to everything that you just said?
Nope. So a plea would have you pleading, would have you pleading guilty to all those charges. We've got some back and forth here. It kind of sounds like we're underwater. So a plea would have you pleading guilty to those crimes, 3 felonies, without having seen the evidence against you. So you can stand mute and the court enters a not guilty plea, or you can say you want to plead not guilty and you'll be not guilty. Then what happens next, and here's why, then you have a chance to get the evidence against you and to consider it. And I think that's what you want to do, because that is your hard-fought constitutional right, among other things.
It's a bit more to it, Your Honor. That's the issue. So I will, based off of the things that you stated, that's not what my understanding is. My understanding is I was attacked by some people, and I was protecting.
Sir, I know you don't want my representation, but I would advise.
No, ma'am.
I would advise that you not talk about anything that happened.
Please don't, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Oh God.
I'm aware of why you're doing that, but I'm aware. Like I said, me and the judge, I told her.
Here we go.
I might say could come back to haunt me. I'm already aware of that. So thank you so much, Miss Melissa. But please do not intervene. But once again, back to you, Your Honor. From my understanding, I was assaulted, and I am shoulders. Once again, I have never told anyone. Wait, I don't want you to mute me, Judge. This is going back to this situation. Okay, thank you. I never told anyone that I am Latavius Strayshaw Thornton. Not one time. I have reiterated. I am shoulders, Latavius Strayshaw, not just to you, Your Honor. That's to be redundant for the record. Okay.
On the record.
Reiterated that Latavius Strayshaw Thornton is a nonprofit organization. I am not a surety. I am shoulders. I am appointed to be an administrator for Latavius Strayshaw Thornton. No, that's why I'm here, but not a surety for Latavius Strayshaw Thornton. Furthermore, Your
Okay.
Honor, my understanding is I was attacked and assaulted, and I'm not sure if I could let that be known to you so that we can make that case come about. Because I would like to seek forward that using the evidence from all the evidence that they have gathered, I would like to use it in my assault case against East Lansing Police Department and its agencies.
Of course.
Okay, so we have a couple different options here. First,
Of course.
the court is going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, so you can pursue that at a hearing where we can bring in evidence and that sort of thing, okay? Secondly, you have other options. You can also, you can investigate a civil suit against the City of East Lansing Police Department. There's a police oversight commission. So those are still available to you. Right now, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea so you can get the evidence to proceed. All right. Now, next up, we have some dates when you're going to return to court. And let me just pull those up here. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to let you speak on my previous court history and let you know why it may look the way it looks.
Okay, no, here's the thing. I'm going to ask you to not say anything.
You don't want to do that.
Because I don't want to accidentally to come by.
Gotcha.
So, all right, so here are the dates. All right, you're going to come back for a probable cause conference at 8:30 a.m. March 21st. Now you're going to get this in writing, okay? 8:30, March 21st, and a preliminary exam. You're going to get this in writing too at 9 a.m. March 27th. Now, my best advice would be to speak with Attorney Vachon because she can explain how you pursue those things. Now, we're going to move on for a moment to bond.
Kind of broke up at the end. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Okay. We're going to move on to bond or bail. So would you like to be released on bond or bail?
Yes.
Could you explain the difference to me, please?
Your Honor, I was going to ask for a bond. People
Okay.
have.
We're going to let Mr. Anid go first. All right, Mr. Anid.
You know, the people are looking at MCL 765.6. Some of the factors to
Now
consider.
you're cutting out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If
Okay,
he
no,
says
no,
something
no.
like that, would it make you biased? Could you be speaking to make you biased right
Well,
now?
I'm going to come back to you in just a minute, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right, Mr. Nid, I'm sorry you were cutting out, but please.
Your Honor, the people are looking at some of the factors to consider bond. The people are asking for at least a $25,000 cash surety and GPS tether if he does post bond. You're looking at the serious of the offense charge, the protection of the public, previous criminal record, and the dangers of the person accused, the probability or improbability of the person accused appearing at trial of the cause. All these factors are not in favor of the defendant, Your Honor. He failed to appear for sentencing in, I believe, circuit court. And again, Your Honor, if the court has updated lien, if you can see if he has a warrant from a couple years back, that's for pleading for attempted resisting and obstructing, is what my note indicates. Protection of the public, Your Honor. This case involves assault on officers. I think one officer got punched in the face. The previous criminal record, he has 4 criminal histories from 4 different states, Your Honor, pending from.
Okay, no, he's going to get it. Then I'll hear from you, okay?
And his probably. Your Honor, lastly, he failed to appear for several years on sentencing. He's not going to appear for this case if he gets released. I just asked for a high bond and a GPS tether if he posts that bond. There's a lot of risk to the public in this case. And and obviously he has ties to Indiana, Kentucky, Georgia, and one other state, Your Honor. This is a problem. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, now.
Before we get to bond,
Okay, I'm going to give you a chance, but here's the thing. Because there are certain keywords, because there are specific things attorneys ask for, do you want Attorney Vachon to address this on your behalf? Because she's really good at this. I will tell you, she's really good at this.
can I say some things to Attorney Vachon before I make that determination? Right.
Your Honor, could we take a brief recess and I could have a breakout room?
Okay, so you're going to be in a breakout room with just Attorney Vachon. Then we're going to come back. Nobody's going anywhere until after you've had a chance to come back. Okay, one moment, please. We'll get a breakout room. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to give it a moment to unmute again. So please just sit tight. And then once you're unmuted, the judge will be in. Oh, she's ready.
Now we're unmuted. Mr. Anid, are you coming back?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so I'm going to start with, Mr. Anid has spoken. I'm going to start with Attorney Vachon. Attorney Vachon, anything from the breakout room?
No, Your Honor, the defendant will speak for himself.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh,
Sir,
boy.
please proceed.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you. Mr. Thornton is not a flight risk for, he has multiple properties in the Michigan and the Lansing area that keeps him here. Also,
The issue wasn't you being a flight risk. The issue was you showing up at all. Or, yeah, I don't think he's said anything about you being a flight risk. He's worried about you being an FTA.
he has a lot of things he do here. He's a coach for 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade basketball teams, and they play year round. He's also a mentor to young children and to people who have had traumatic situations. They call on a daily. He's a counselor to the community and to the public. Furthermore, he's not a danger to the community or based off his innocence, and he's not a threat to anyone in society. He is actually beneficial to Mr. Thornton is actually a beneficial role in the community, and kids and multiple different areas of people, they look up to Mr. Thornton, and they will attest to his character as an upstanding, nonviolent, peaceful individual who brings smiles and love to the community. And
smiles and love.
Once again, may I reiterate, he's not a flight risk. Yes, he has ties to other places, but those ties are not as pertinent as to the ties of where he originally was born and reside and has grown as a part of this community in a very effective way.
Okay, thank you. That's very well said. Sounds like Mr. Thornton really has a lot of good qualities.
Absolutely,
okay.
yes.
So
true.
I am looking at the file, and I want you to bear with me a bit. There was a song when I was younger. When I was in high school, there was a popular song that said, "Cruel to be kind." Okay. So I'm looking at this, Mr. Thornton, and there's a warrant out of 30th Circuit Court, downtown, East Lansing. Okay?
Yes.
And this is from 2022. And it's a statewide pickup, no bond with extradition. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set, I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. I'm going to set a money bond of $10,000 because all of the days that you don't post that bond, you will get credit for the time. If I gave you a cash bond, what would happen is Ingham County would pick you up on this old warrant and hold you until that case was resolved. By setting a cash bond on this, you get credit for the days you're in. Then, when that's resolved or close to being resolved, I will reconsider the bond amount. We call that making a bond motion, and I'll entertain that. But right now, this is cruel to be kind, okay? I know it's not what you want, but having been around the law long enough, this means they're going to keep you in custody for some time. So I want to be sure that you get something for it. Now, I'm going to put some other conditions on the bond for when you're able to bond out. And you're going to get these in writing, but I need to read them to you, and they need to be part of this record. So if you want to appeal, it's all here for you so they can evaluate whether I did this right or not. So number one, if you post bond, you may not leave the state of Michigan without prior permission from this court. Number two, you are presumed innocent, but the court says we have to tell you this right now. You may not commit any crime while released. Doesn't mean I think you're going to, but you have a right to know that. Number three, you must immediately notify this court in writing of any change of address or telephone number. Then you must not use alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal controlled substance. If you have any medications, you must take all medications as prescribed. Do you have a medical marijuana card, sir?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
Mr. Thornton does not know.
Okay, so may not use marijuana at any time and may not apply for a medical marijuana card without prior permission from this court. May not possess or purchase a firearm or other dangerous weapon. May not use any object as a weapon. May not engage in any harassing, violent, threatening, or stalking behavior toward anyone. May not have any contact with Kayla Bevere, Chris Shattuck, or Colin Lemire. Can't use have anyone else contact them. Can't use any social media to look them up or try to contact them. Okay?
I don't have social media.
All right, now, you must contact pretrial services by 4 p.m. on the day you're released from custody. All right, anything further, Attorney Vachon?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, anything further, Attorney Nid?
Yeah, so did you, I must have misheard. Was there a dollar amount to the cash
10.
bond?
10,000.
10,000 cash charity?
Yes, sir.
And then lastly, did you, was the GPS ordered if he was released? If not,
That's not necessary.
No,
I have
okay.
children.
Just a minute.
That's not
I'm just going to answer the question. No, I'm looking at the circuit court bond, which, no, it was not. Okay, now, sir, what would you like to say?
First and foremost, how much you said that if for each day that the bond isn't posted, there would be a credit amount. I'm I just want to throw this out there for Latavius Thornton. Once again, he accepts that offer for the credit amount to be $1,000 a day. And furthermore, he accepts other offers from the prosecuting attorney's office if they are willing to go day by day with Mr. Thornton and if he's incarcerated.
Well, that's good to know, but that's not on the table just yet, okay? And so what happens is you get credit for time in this case with that bond amount. Otherwise, if I were to give you what's called a PR bond to say you can go, then you wouldn't get any credit for this time while you're waiting for that old case to be resolved. So, okay, so you're going to receive all of this in writing, and we will see you back 8:30 a.m. March 21st, okay? And you want to discuss with Attorney Vachon what a probable cause conference, well, or Attorney Foreman.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
There was no application for public defender submitted. So at this time, there will be no counsel with him. Now, if Mr. Thornton changes his mind at any point, he can always apply for the public defender's office. But at this point, I'm unable to submit an application for an attorney.
Okay. Well, I would just ask you to consider, here's the thing. You can apply for it and turn it down later. But if you don't apply, it can stretch things out a lot longer. And you don't want that. Just worth considering. You make your own decision. You certainly have every right to make your own decision.
This
but
is
I would
a very tedious hearing.
If my beloved baby nephew, who's not a baby, he's about your age, we're in this situation, that's what I'd suggest to him. Okay. All right. That is all for this record. Thank you.
Thank you. And Lindsay, could I get a breakout room?
Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that was pretty tedious.
Welcome.
So much so that, you know what? We're gonna watch this from Van Balian about the grappler, because I haven't seen it yet. I need to make it up for you guys.
Back to the Van Balian channel, guys. Today we head to Ohio, where a Moorish sovereign citizen plays F around and find out when she tries to run from the Parma Police Department, called in by Parma Heights Police because they just happen to have a piece of equipment called the grappler that can bring this particular pursuit, because she's also running on one flat tire, courtesy of a device called the Terminator, to an end. Right, let's see how well all that works out for her.
What is with these names? The grappler, the Terminator.
Hey, copy. Give me one westbound.
They're gonna have to move over. The charger is almost behind it.
Go up the left side of what you want on. He's up there now.
And got him.
Good grapple, good grapple.
Nice. Oh, thank God it stopped.
She ain't coming out.
She's solo? She ain't coming out.
She's refusing to exit the vehicle.
Do we have anything to break the window out? It's Naya. Naya, step out of the car!
6-7, I'm with him with the dog. 40, we're both out. She's confined to command right now.
We're going to bring her far right and to the left wing. There's only one person? Yes, that's it. I got to walk backwards. My voice. At least one. I have the last one. You coming back? I got hands. To your right. I'm over that. That's it. He's the only one. Hey, back up here. Back up here. Hey, hey. Close your door. Get out of the seat. Thank you.
I'm gonna get copyright struck so hard.
So according to Fox 8, the pursuit was set in motion when an officer pulled over a car with dark tinted windows and a tag that read Moorish National Republican Federal Government. Investigators say the driver refused to cooperate with the officer or even acknowledge his authority. Authorities would later conclude that the woman behind the wheel, 31-year-old Nia McClin of Chicago, is a so-called sovereign citizen. Palmer Heights Sergeant Eric Taylor said, "There's not necessarily a dead giveaway, but some of the things the officer noticed were her responses, citing that she did not recognise the officer's authority. She was citing different titles and codes that were not Ohio law or law that the Supreme Court had ruled on. What McClellan did not know was that just before she fled from the traffic stop, an officer suspecting that she might run had placed a small device called a Terminator under one of her rear tyres.
Wow.
The tyre quickly went flat, but that did not stop McClellan
well played.
from running from police on free tyres. In response to the threat to public safety, Palmer Heights Police asked for help from neighbouring Palmer Police because of a specialised piece of equipment they are using called the Grappler Police Bumper. This cutting-edge technology allows police to deploy netting and straps from their bumper that are directed under the rear wheels of the vehicle being pursued and bring it to a stop. Anyway, like the video shows, she was ordered out of the car at gunpoint, and under the law that sovereign citizens refuse to acknowledge or obey, she was arrested and charged with fleeing and eluding. Brilliant quote, and warning to anyone that laws apply to you whether you like it or not. During an appearance in Palmer Municipal Court, bond for the 31-year-old was set at $100,000, and the case will be presented to a grand
Yeah, because this ain't Wisconsin, this is Ohio.
jury, and prosecutors are seeking felony charges. Good for them. She deserves everything coming her way. And what a cool way to bring this particular police chase to an end. It just needs more taser next time. Right, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this short clip.
Well played. Thank you, Van, for that. My thing is, I think the grappler is obvious. I mean, it's obviously a great invention. It's far, far safer for everybody involved, the police, the suspect, and the public at large, rather than doing, a pit, which can end very, very badly for everybody involved again. So, nice. And of course, she's a Moor. But I think that's what I got. I think for the 99-cent super sticker. That's what I got for today. I'm going to save some of the other videos that you guys have seen, have shared with me for tomorrow. Like I said, right now, I'm going to go eat dinner because I'm starving. I'm gonna eat dinner because I'm starving, and I'm also I'm gonna keep on working on this bracket for you guys. But yeah, you guys take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow for sure. And yeah, I'll let you guys know if I get hot water in my house again tomorrow too. We'll find out. All right. Bye, guys. Take care. Adios. Later. See ya.